This is the story of James Cheeseman. To tell the story of James Cheeseman, we must travel back in time to the year 1973. To tell the story of how a young man named Timothy Cheeseman would meet a young woman named Marion James. They would first meet when a friend of Timothy's hosted a birthday party. His same friend happened to be Marion's uncle. They would get to know each other more when they met a second time at Cumberland Oval to watch the Parramatta Eagles play a game of rugby league. Timothy and Marion were married 4 years later in February 1977. These are the headlines of the 4th of November 1983. A story that was missed that day was the birth of James Timothy Cheeseman, Timothy and Marion's first child, born at 3:52 a.m. at Westmead Hospital. Brought up in a Catholic family, James was baptised. James is the eldest of 3 children: Benjamin Francis, born in April 1986, and Kate Amanda, born in October 1988. James grew up at this house in Guildford. He grew up a happy child. In 1989, he started school at St Patrick's Primary School in Guildford. He would begin playing rugby league in 1991 for the Guildford Raiders in the Parramatta Catholic Convents Rugby League Association. He would play a second year for the club in the under-9s. The family had 2 dogs, Pokey and Cisco, 2 miniature fox terriers. Pokey would give birth to 2 litters of puppies. 1994 saw James change schools to St Patrick's College Strafford to begin Year 5. 1996, the family moved to this Concord house. As a normal teenager, James enjoyed playing PlayStation, returning to skateboard, meeting Don Bradman, changing hair colours, signs that James was a silly boy, changed hairstyles to the then fashionable bum part. In 2001, he began Year 12. Did all the things a Year 12 student would do: go to the formal and graduate. After 8 years at St Patrick's, it was time to leave. In 2002, he headed to Meadowbank TAFE to complete his HSC as part of the Pathways program. In 2003, he stayed at Meadowbank TAFE. He wanted to be a sports coach and completed Certificate 3 in sports coaching. Also in 2003, James would meet his best friend, Bianca Guest, over the then popular chat program ICQ. In late 2004, after putting off getting a job doing courses just to stay at TAFE, he got a job at Woolworths, where he would work for 11 months. These photos of James show he's a silly person who does silly things. At the end of 2005, after having enough of living in Sydney, James decided to move to Adelaide, South Australia. He lived in Adelaide for 15 months before returning to Sydney at the end of 2006 as he missed rugby league and couldn't find a job in Adelaide. These photos are of the small unit where James would live in 2006. In 2007, James would join SportsData, a company where he would work for 6 years. SportsData is a sports statistics company that owns NRL Stats, the official supplier of the National Rugby League. These photos of James in 2009 would show even though his family had changed many years before, he would remain the same person he'd always been, a silly boy who liked to ham it up in front of the camera. He changed the colour of his hair, this time to fit the season. In 2010, after many years, James would obtain his L plates and purchase his first car named Charlene. In 2011, James would gain his P plates. His first accident would happen the first time he drove by himself. Charlene would meet her end in December 2011 in the Greenwood Plaza Shopping Centre car park. James would purchase his second car, Lara, in January 2012. She would meet her end at the Fox Sports car park in June 2012. He would purchase his third and current car, Abigail, in August 2012. James realised that a full-time job at SportsData would elude him, and searching for a job in administration was getting him nowhere. James had always an interest in working in the media and figured it was another way to have a career that involved his passion, rugby league. James decided to enrol in Certificate 3 Media Radio at Petersham TAFE for Semester 1 2013. At Petersham, James would study under teachers and industry veterans Ben Starr and Brian Newington. James would meet a whole new gang of friends, including Alicia Swanson. James is a die-hard Canberra Raiders fan. Why does a boy from Sydney support a team from Canberra? Well, he first played for a team called the Guildford Raiders, and since they wore the same colours, his brother Ben and he thought it made sense to them. What does the future hold for James? Producing content on television for Fox Sports? Producing content for NRL films, or the yet-to-be-created Rugby League channel, which is a passion of James's, would be where James would like to be, telling the stories that don't get covered by the media, or telling stories that cover the greater game instead of the day-to-day, or working for the Rugby League International Federation, helping on working grow the international game. Whatever it is, as long as it involves rugby league and the opportunities for James to be silly and hammered up in front of the camera, then he will be happy. Now, who am I, you may ask? Well, watch the video again and find out the secret clues, and you'll figure out. Have a nice day!